We are recording. Welcome. Hey, everybody. I see lots of familiar faces and some new faces. So I know we're going to have a couple people jumping on. My name is Colonna Giuliano, and I know we're going to have a couple people jumping on over the half hour that we are together. But for those of you that are here now, it would be super helpful to see who has achieved the rank of silver before. So if you have achieved the rank of silver, type a 1 in the chat just so people can see that you've hit silver before. It doesn't matter if you've fallen back or what, just if you've ever hit silver, type a 1 in the chat so we can see who's here, who's silver. So there are lots of silvers here and above, and there will be people coming back to watch this that are brand new brand partners, and any bit of wisdom that we can offer to someone who's starting out is helpful. And obviously anybody who's watching this is interested in growing their Young Living business. I mean, who here wants to grow their business and rank up and help more people, right? We're all like in the same boat. The rank, sometimes we can get hung up on the rank, right? Because it looks like this status symbol or something, but we're all doing the same thing. So it doesn't really, make you any better or any cooler or anything, you know what I mean? And obviously we all have different skills, and that's why it's fun to come together as a community and talk about the way we do things. But for someone who's starting out, you're brand new to being a brand partner, I'm just going to go over a couple of basics before we get into stories of how to get to the rank of silver and why that's awesome. So when you're just starting out, it's usually because you've had an amazing experience with the product. I mean, type a 2 in the chat if you decided to do the business because you had an awesome experience with the product. A lot of us did, or you saw something happen with someone in your family and you were like, wow, like I need to tell more people about this. So it's pretty natural within Young Living to be really centered on the products and sharing how well they work. And I feel like as a company, we are not super pushy about the business. And I think that's what brings a lot of us together, because we don't start with the business. We don't hammer about the business. We're not kind of flashy, and not to say that that's wrong or bad, but there are some network marketing companies out there that are very different in the way they approach it, right? So I feel like Young Living is unique in that way. We have amazing products that sell themselves. We just have to get good at telling people about them so that people continue to use them and share them. And we also need to get good at telling people about the business opportunity. So the first thing for new brand partners that are starting right now is to get their business essentials kit. And that is going to be moving from like tangible books to digital. And it's $14.95 now. So it's awesome because it's cheaper. It was $29.95. So that's the first step to becoming a brand partner, is to get that kit, and you get access to the virtual office. Beyond that, whoever your upline is, whatever your upline diamond is or whatever team you belong to, I know there's, people on here from different teams and people will be coming back from different teams. You should have training videos that someone has made for you, or maybe you've made yourself. So recently, and things keep changing, right? So videos often get outdated and then somebody needs to make new ones. So recently, Jessica Petty, who's maybe going to join us maybe, and Wendy's here too, but we made videos and they're just on our website. We made them for our team, but anyone could watch them. It's just brandpartnerbasics.com. So we made some videos. We sat right here in my office, like they're literally recorded with our phones. They're not like fancy, but they're enough, right, to get someone started. Another great resource is Erin Rogers, who is a Young Living Royal Crown Diamond. She was a math teacher and she's very good at explaining the compensation plan. She's kind of famous for that. And she has a Facebook group called Compensation Conversations. And anyone could add you to that if you, want to learn from her. There's also videos on the Young Living website, like in the virtual office. And it's important to watch these videos because they explain how we get paid and they explain the basics of how to do the business. Beyond that, there's lots of different things that we do, but I always like to bring everybody back to there's just 3 things that you do in this business. So you enroll people, right? We bring people in with whatever products, we get them on loyalty rewards, and then we introduce them to the business. We get them to do the business with us. And there's tons of different ways to do those 3 things, right? I mean, some people use social media to enroll, other people do in-person classes, some people do it one-on-one, combination, vendor events, there's just a million ways to enroll. So within that, it's nice to get some help and advice, and we come together as a group and we talk about things that we do, and we get ideas and inspiration, and that helps us to help more people. So that's kind of some basics. I know we only have a half an hour and I want to save time for some stories. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to mention. Yeah, just getting to know the compensation plan, because it's our roadmap and it looks a little confusing when you first look at it, but it's always good to look at what rank you want to get to next. So if you're looking all the way at the qualifications for diamond and above, it can be like, make your mind explode numbers. Like, how am I ever going to get those kind of numbers? Well, you're not going to do it by yourself. You're going to do it with a bunch of people that are as excited as you, that are out there teaching classes and enrolling people, or, getting people on ER and doing the business with them. And that's how it gets big. But if you just print up the compensation plan off of the website and what I did in the beginning is I folded it, and I would only have the next rank that I was going for, like, in my view, and I would just focus on those numbers, right? And silver, we're kind of focusing on silver tonight because Mary Young describes silver as when you catch the tail of the comet. It's like the beginning of when you start to get paid pretty generously, more generously. And it is just such a wonderful rank to hit, because then you start qualifying for extra bonuses. And when you get silvers underneath you is when you really start to earn extra money. You actually get paid more on that than when you hit it yourself. So that's compensation plan stuff. You can go watch comp plan videos, but the goal, a lot of people's big goal in the business is to get to silver. And the qualifications for silver are, you want to make sure that you have 2 legs, right? 2 business people, brand partners, and you're building, every time you enroll someone, you're starting to kind of put them into those legs. There's a ton of different ways to build your business. This is how I was taught, and how I think a lot of us, some of us here, were taught, is to kind of like get to silver first, even though you need 6 legs or 6 people doing the business on your level 1 to get to Royal Crown Diamond. You need those 2 to get to silver. So that's oftentimes where our mind is in the beginning, is like building up those 2 legs. And so you have 2 legs at 1,000, 4,000 overall, and then 1,000 PGV outside of that. If that makes no sense, don't worry, go watch comp plan videos. But that's the goal at first, is to get to that silver rank. So of the silvers that are here with us tonight, if any of you are feeling bold and would like to share maybe just like a 2 to 5 minute story of how you got to silver, of what you did during that time from when you started the business until when you hit the rank of silver, like what kinds of things were you doing? It's really helpful for not only brand new people, but maybe people who have fallen back. And even if you're someone who's fallen back, don't worry about that. You got there at one point, you know how to do it. You'll do it again, so it's anything you have to share is really helpful. So I'm going to just let someone unmute themselves, because I know there's some silvers on here that kick butt in this business and could really share some helpful things. So don't be shy. Otherwise, I'm going to call on you. Hi, Jessica.
Okay, I'll be brave and I'll jump up. Okay, yay. Okay, I hit silver within 6 months of getting my kit. This was back in 2013. And again, you want 2 legs at 4,000 to outside, or a total of 10,000 OGV. It seemed like insanity
I
when I
just
first
messed
got
that up.
started.
I just said the qualifications for
Yeah.
executive. So thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. Well, listen to
Yeah.
what I said. Just listen to what she said. 2 at 4, 10,000 overall. I was saying executive. Sorry.
It's okay, but you need to have two executives. So if you're thinking about it in this way, it depends on, we talk about colors and different people have different motivations. So if you haven't done the Jacob Adamo test, go do that. So then you can kind of understand where you kind of fall in. But I am what they call a red blue, which is I can give me the numbers and get out of my way. So for me, I was really focused and I knew what my numbers were. So I knew where I needed to go. And there was success in the speed of doing it, not really thinking, not overthinking things, just getting it done. And so what I did was I found my 2 people that I was going to work with that wanted to do this business. And some of it was I had to kind of help show them the vision of why they wanted to do this business and kind of like, okay, we're gonna lock arms and we're gonna do it. So what we were focusing on is we were focusing on getting in front of people because we would have people come to our homes. And at this point, I was like, did I get in too late? You start overthinking about like, what did I do? And you just do the work, like just schedule the classes, get people together, fall in love with the oils, have that oil experience, and then say, let's get you started. Let's just do this. We're going to have so much fun. These are going to be amazing for your family. I'm going to walk you through this. And we have a ton of resources that are going to help you get to silver. So that's what I did was I talked with 2 or 3 of my people, and then I was looking at my numbers every single day. I would log into the virtual office to kind of see where I was at. I would follow up with people. This is an introduction where we have to connect with people on a personal level, and that's where we focus on the people that we know. And then we focus on getting our network larger. Okay. So this is networking company. We have to network. Okay. So we got to get out and we got to meet new people all the time. Doesn't mean that we're going to sell, but that's the whole Harvest book that Jess and I did for book club. But that's how I got to silver within 6 months. Now, there were people at the time that had taken 5 or 6 years to get to silver. Everybody's journey is different. So don't, however long it's going to take you, that's your journey. But if you want to do this, keep your head down, get classes where you're getting in front of people, go to moms groups, MOPS groups, connect with what have your experience as a customer, have those aha moments, because those are what's going to translate into the energy of going, listen, you got to do this because my kids haven't needed this, and this, where they would normally, I look on my Facebook memories and they were always getting into trouble, right? I don't have that anymore. Would you like to have that? Wouldn't you love to be a mom that doesn't have to worry about that? We all do, right? That's the basis of getting to silver. Have 2 people in your organization, help them get to executive. Boom. There you go. I hope that helps.
Super helpful. Thank you. And my brain was obviously on executive. So I typed in the chat and Stacy told you what the silver qualifications are. That's awesome. Super helpful. Thank you. And that is good to remember that you just need 2 executives, sounds like a lot, but if you get 2 people that are excited, that are sharing, they could enroll a lot of people and do that really, really quickly. So thank you, Stacy. All right. Where's another silver story? Karen, Erica, somebody. I can share mine, but I want to hear from you. Yeah, Karen.
I'm going to jump in. So Stacy talked about 2 executives. So what she's saying is in each leg, if you haven't, this always looks like milking a cow to me, when I'm with my 2 executives. Sorry. So, yeah, exactly. So you can have, executive, to get to executive, you need 4,000 OGV. And that's why if you just have 2 executives, you've got your 2 legs, but you can also have 2 senior stars in each leg. And I know, thanks to my upline, Pat McLean, I was not thinking about that until Pat said, you could either get 2 executives, you could get 2 senior stars in each leg, or you can get 4 or 8 stars in each leg. You can do it all different ways. And that never even occurred to me until she mentioned that. The other thing is, Kelowna was talking about the resources that we have. We are so lucky. We have so many resources. I think coaching is so important because we all have such mind messes going on. Why I can't do this, why, I'm a little tired today. My nostrils hurting. I can't work. I'm afraid to talk to that person because my hair isn't good. I didn't put makeup on. So I can't do my reel. We all have all those silly, naughty voices. And that's where our watching our upline, popping onto all of these calls all the time, because I know I'm always so happy to hear from Wendy, from Stacy, from Kelowna, from Jessica. It reminds me of my bigger picture and my bigger story and why I'm here, and we're not here alone. So nobody's alone in this. Stacy was talking about classes. I love doing vendor events. I just did one this weekend and I signed people up at vendor events. I do a mailing list, but I really sign people up, and we signed 10 people up this weekend, and it was a brand new vendor event. It was not attended well. So I love that. That's what I love doing. If you're a social media person, post on social media. If you like sending out emails, people read emails. I just started doing weekly emails. I had resisted emails. I was doing project broadcast a lot, but I started doing weekly emails. I get at least a 40% open rate on my, it's usually closer to 50% for my emails. That's pretty good, I think. I know that's pretty good because usually they say 20 to 25%. So there's lots of other ways to do the business. If you don't like doing classes, you don't have to do classes. Lindsay Moreno, our lemon dropper, Royal Crown Diamond. Lindsay never did a one class and she got to Royal Crown Diamond. So if you're afraid of that, you don't have to do that. You can do everything one-on-one. You can post on social media and not talk to anybody. We have so many people successful at that. So look to your leaders and then look to other people to get ideas from how other people do it. And don't let the compensation plan confuse you. So I'm a silver, and don't ask me about the generation. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but all that other stuff. In the beginning, and I heard Aaron Rodgers say this, learn about the fast start bonus, learn about the starter kit and the fast start bonus, and then don't get confused until after you reach silver, which means I really should look again at all those generational things. And yeah, I know Stacy's making faces at me.
No, you're right though. If we get hung up on those little details, then we're not focused on just doing the event and enrolling the people and helping people. So I think that's a great point. And you don't have to have it all memorized, but when someone asks a specific question, you can say, oh, go watch this video. And then what I always do is I go watch it myself. I'm like, okay, wait, let me brush up on this really quick, So when they ask me a question about it, I'm like prepared. So yeah, we know where to go. Thank you, Karen. And congratulations give Karen a round of applause on 10 enrollments. That's so amazing. And that's what can happen when you go to a vendor event. You meet brand new people that you never would have met before. So thank you. Super, super inspiring. So we have 10 more minutes and we have lots of amazing leaders on here. Does anyone who has hit the rank of silver have a tip or information or a story about how they did it, or something that could help a new brand partner just starting out, or someone that's really going for silver?
Kelowna, I'll say that I was posting consistently when I was enrolling a lot of people. And so I'll just do that plug for my journey to silver about, posting consistently. If social media is your plan, to post on a regular basis and share stories. As Lindsay told us, you really want to talk to people. I know Jenna Vandership's a high enroller, and what I see her doing a lot is talking to her camera like it's her friend. And she's telling it's like an ongoing dialogue, like almost like a journal, but she's just kind of talking about what she's doing in her life and why, and she builds trust with people, and she enrolls a lot of people online that don't know her because they feel like they know her from doing that. So if you're posting, be sure to tell stories about why you're doing the things that you're doing.
That's super helpful. Thank you, Jessica. And that reminded me that if you don't have this amazing, compelling story, use somebody else's story with their permission. You know, if you know of somebody that had an awesome testimonial with a product, ask if you can use it with or without their name. And you can say, hey, like, I'm going to give you a real life example. This just happened 2 days ago. A diamond named Angela Meredith shared a story about Cypress. And I don't know if anybody saw this yet, but she posted in one of our diamond groups and said, hey, this just happened. If anybody wants to share this story, feel free. And she wrote this long story. And so I took the story, I read it, and it was about how she was peeing 1 million times a night because she's pregnant. And somebody told her, and it's keeping her up, and she's got like 11, she's pregnant with her 11th baby or something. So she's a busy mom. She can't afford to not be sleeping. And she was up all night peeing. Somebody told her in our diamond chat group, rub Cypress over your bladder before you go to bed and like on your lower back. And she's like, I just slept 7 hours. I haven't slept 7 hours and I don't know how long. And then all these other people started trying it and it was working. So I posted it in my group. I posted it on my Instagram, and like all day long, I'm getting people going, it worked. And I did it myself and it worked. Like I usually wake up 2 to 3 times a night to pee, and I'm not drinking water all the way up until going to bed. It just, my bladder wakes me up, and now it's not. So that's life-changing. I didn't know, I hadn't done that before. I had heard of people using Cypress for bedwetting, but she shared that story. And because she wrote it out and let us all share it, all these people are now sleeping through the night without having to get up to go pee. You know, I mean, I have people literally reaching out to me on Instagram to create an account with Young Living to get Cypress to try this, because I shared her story, you know, not as my own. I said, here's a story from, you know, a friend. So anyway, thank you, Jessica, for reminding us to share stories, because that's actually what gets people to go, oh my gosh, maybe there's, you know, everybody knows of somebody in their life who has that problem, right? Usually there's kind of main things, and without being super non-compliant, you're not claiming to cure anyone's disease or anything, but we can talk about things like stress and sleep and focus and immune system or whatever. So before we
Kelowna.
Yeah, who else?
Hi, it's Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
I just wanted to share that I shared that exact story tonight, that Cypress story on I have a weekly Zoom call that I do on Thursday evenings. And that was the one I shared this evening too. So, cause that was a great share in our group, and I appreciate it. And I shared it.
Awesome. And that's going to help so many people. And that's usually what I tell people when I have someone reach out to me that says, oh my gosh, this just worked, you know, whatever it is, peace and calming just worked for my baby. They slept all night. I will first just like celebrate with them. Like, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. You know, it's like one of those goosebump tears in the eyes stories. And then the next thing I say to people is, hey, could I share this either on my Instagram or Facebook or in one of our education groups? I say, would you be comfortable sharing it, or would you be comfortable with me sharing it? And sometimes I've had people go, oh, sure, I'll go share that story. And then suddenly they have all these friends and family commenting on that post, like, how do I get peace and calming? And then I go to them, hey, you want to become a brand partner? All these people can sign up under you, or you can send them to me, you know, like you can give them the options. But because if we keep those stories to ourselves, they're not doing any good. So that we have to kind of shout from the rooftops when we hear them. So I love that Barbara shared that tonight too. And now everybody wants Cypress. So somebody asked a question here in the chat. Yeah, you just rub it over your bladder, like over your lower abdomen. And then some people put it on their lower back. I just laid in bed and dropped Cypress, like 3 drops over my lower abdomen, just rubbed it in and just went to bed. And I didn't get up to pee. I always get up to pee. Like, anyway, go try that. And then go talk about it on social media, you know? Yeah, I can post it in Spruce Society. Good idea. I'll post it in there. So before we wrap up, are there any other silvers here who would like to share a tip or a story? I can tell you what I did. Nobody wants to chime in. So I taught a lot of classes. My dog is whining next to me. If you hear a little noise, he's waiting to be fed. So he's sitting here whining. But I taught a ton of classes. I liked gathering people, friends and family in my living room or other people's living rooms and talking about the starter kit. Because when I was going for silver, we were enrolling people just with the starter kit. Even though now you can enroll people with anything, I still think the starter kit is the best deal. So I still think that's a really good way to get people in. And we're an essential oil company, and I feel like people will find the other products naturally if you're plugging them into resources like the free version of the Life Steps app, our Spruce Society group, making sure that they have resources, a pocket or desk reference from Life and Science. Like they have all those resources. They're going to find out about the other products. But the oils and the diffuser, it's just such a good deal. And I love talking about that. So I would pass around the starter kit oils, let people smell them, have the diffuser on, show people how to use a diffuser. Like people want to be shown how to do something. Like you look at this little bottle and you're like, well, what do I do with that? But if you're like, hey, unscrew the cap, smell it. If you're okay with it, let a drop fall in your hand. Like I love being shown what to do. Take your peace fingers, swirl it, rub your hands together. That activates the oil to your energy. And now take some deep breaths. And you have everybody in the room like, wow, that reminds me of it. Everybody starts talking and having these experiences. And you're like, okay, now if you like that, rub your shoulders with it. And like things start to happen in the room that sell the oils for you. Like I had a friend put frankincense on her neck and like, she's all 5 minutes later, we were on to the next oil or something. And she goes, hey, she's like, my neck pain is gone. She's like trying to find her neck pain. She's like, I have chronic neck pain. She has a computer job. She's like, no, seriously, you guys, like, I want to buy this, whatever this is, I want to buy, and everybody in the room was like, me too, me too. So sometimes just passing the oils around and letting people have an experience, I think is the most powerful way to enroll people because people start talking and having experiences in front of your eyes. So I did that several nights a week. I was having my husband put the kids to bed. They were younger. And I was just getting people together and passing around oils. And at the end of each class, we would say, hey, we're going to have another one. And we would give the date and we would say, invite someone, come back, because once you get your kit, you're going to want to review this again. So people would come back multiple times and then they would bring their mom or their sister or a friend. And we just kept having little gatherings. And then we would do things outside of the starter kit. So we would have a class on essential rewards, or we would have a class on babies. We did some really fun classes called speed oiling, where there would be a bunch of different Young Living brand partners at different stations. And like one would be thieves. One would be, how to use, oils for kids, pets, whatever. And there was all these different stations and you'd have a little 5 minutes with this person and learn about whatever they had at their table and then move to the next table. And we'd have a potluck and food and it would just be like mom's night out, So I did a ton of those when I was going for silver. And I think that was what got me there, was just being around people. And I did, like Jessica say, start sharing on social media and showing up more there. So we are at 6:30. If there's somebody else that has something amazing that they want to share about getting to silver, now is your chance. But I just wanted to make sure that we all got a chance to say something if we had something we wanted to share. And it's fun too when we get on these calls because there's a lot of information in the chat and that's a great way to connect. So we are going to have these calls every Thursday night on different topics. Sometimes they're going to be for brand partners. Sometimes they're going to be more geared toward education. And we post in Spruce Society with all the topics at the beginning of every month. And then we post reminders, leading up to. So just mark your calendar now for Thursday nights at this time, or if you're in another part of the world, whatever time this is for you, just mark your calendar and then have it be a goal to bring somebody every week. And especially if it's a topic you think someone could really benefit from, because that's how we grow, is by supporting each other and coming together and connecting. And it's always inspiring to like see faces and talk to each other and get ideas. So thank you guys for being here. I hope that was helpful. And this will be recorded. It is recorded, so anybody can come back and watch it, and I'll post it in Spruce Society. Thank you to everybody who shared. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you in Spruce.
But is he in the bathroom? In the bathroom?
Bye.